Welcome to the Inclusologist podcast, my people, the space where I talk about the facts of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And let me be clear, this is a no bullshit, only real shit space. And I'm not here to talk about how DEI makes you feel. I'm here to talk about how you feel about the facts and diving deep into what they actually mean. Because when it comes to equity, I want y'all to understand feelings don't free people.
President Trump following through on a number of promises to change U.S. policies on gender and diversity.
Making changes in the military. The orders are expected to ban transgender Americans from serving.
Target rolling back a number of their DEI policies in an announcement today.
President Donald Trump is sending a clear message to corporate America to end diversity, equity, and inclusion policies or face potential legal consequences.
The cities because they feel excluded.
More prisons.
Do you believe there's a difference between women and men?
Inclusion programs are coming under fire now.
The focus on race, first and foremost, has done us no favors.
But if your ideas don't pass the hurtful or harmful test, you should keep your ideas to yourself.
I'm carrying a weapon for a week, hoping to be approached by a black man so he could kill him.
How social media has led in its different stages to increased narcissism, increased emotional suffering.
The problem can never be stated in terms of black and white.
Predominantly white people coming through the business with a certain amount of kind of security in their lives.
DEI should be a lens in which you look at everything that you do.
Have you ever been judged for your appearance or what you look like?
Yes, I have.
I never thought it would become a political tool to really divide this country and really the world.
DEI has turned into a political target.
Time to do DEI efforts differently.
Now, I appreciate y'all for tuning into that quick commercial break. Don't forget to support my new documentary, DEIing, and also go buy my book, DEIing. Now, in June, the number of hires decreased in arts and entertainment and recreation significantly by 42,000, y'all. They lost 42,000 jobs just in June of 2025. By July 2025, U.S. employers had announced a total of 800,000 job cuts. Now, which industries have been affected the most by that? Government in 2025 has lost 292,000 jobs plus. Technologies lost almost 90,000 jobs. Retail also has been hit significantly by 80,000 jobs. That is a 249% increase versus the same time in 2024. Now, manufacturing jobs increased 261% in 2024, and they link that to automation. Healthcare is also experiencing ongoing layoffs tied to reduced federal support. 40% of who worked in government in 2024 were Black and Indigenous people of color and women. Government has faced nearly 300,000 job cuts through July, leading 2025. Due to federal budget reduction. Y'all know Doge and Elon Musk took their asses in there and did a lot of cuts. Now, why does this happen? Because we have things like affinity bias and lack of succession planning, which often means Black and Indigenous people of color of employees don't get promoted into decision-making positions. I don't know how many times I have to say this. When I looked at a report by leanin.org and the McKinsey 2022 found that Black and Indigenous women of color are often the most likely to lose their jobs. They're the most likely group to be stuck in entry to mid-level positions because of affinity bias and y'all loving to promote people that look like y'all, and also racism, if I want to call it out blatantly, and white supremacy, especially in this current administration. There's little to no advancement or even access to advancement. And Black men and Black and Indigenous men of color especially come in a close second. And let's not forget conversations about binary or transgender populations. There is a structural imbalance that creates a cycle without meaningful leadership representation. Black and Indigenous people of color and leaders of color employees are often faced with reduced career sustainability, and they continue to be the most expendable in our workplaces. Now, when I talk about who didn't earn it, the first person I'm going to speak about is Linda McMahon, running the Department of Education. Because honestly, y'all, she truly didn't earn it. And I know some of y'all going to say she hating on her because she's a white woman or whatever. No, I'm not. She shouldn't be there. Because Linda McMahon is a WWE mogul, okay? Now, running the Department of Education does not equate to the same skill set. My question that I have to ask and that y'all got to ask yourselves is, since when did running a wrestling ring make you qualified to run classrooms? It's two very different populations. And I'm not hating on wrestlers, okay? But what I'm saying is, a woman who studied French at East Carolina University but has never taught in a classroom a day in her life shouldn't be running the Department of Education. And I had thrown no shade at Linda McMahon, but her so-called education experience, let's talk about that because it's very limited. She was on the Connecticut Board of Education for less than a year before she quit to run the Senate. And she didn't just lose to run for Senate once, she lost to run for Senate twice, okay? That's like subbing in for the gym class saying you deserve to be superintendent. How does that work? Sis, please stop playing in our faces. And let's not ignore the lawsuits, okay?
A scathing lawsuit filed last month alleges that McMahon and her husband, Vince, of World Wrestling Entertainment, knowingly enabled the sexual exploitation of children by a WWE employee as early as the 1980s. A lawsuit alleges that Linda McMahon was, quote, the leader in trying to conceal the sordid underbelly of WWE's sexual abuse culture, unquote.
Linda didn't get this role because of her expertise. She cut a lot of checks for Trump's political machine. She ran a super high PAC, and now she's running our schools, or should I say running them into the ground. She's already said she wants to be the last education secretary, let me be clear. Her assignment isn't to improve education, it's to dismantle the Department of Education altogether. So I'm gonna call it what it really is. Linda McMahon, you didn't earn this position. You are what y'all would call a DEI hire. I didn't earn it, okay? This is political payback, plain and simple. Payback, you got to see. And she can talk about school choice and cutting bureaucracy, all that she wants. But parents know the truth. You don't put kids' futures in the hands of someone whose only real job is to dismantle the Department of Education, and only real credential is in helping to choreograph wrestling storylines. You just not qualified, baby.
The cities because they feel excluded.
More prisons.
Do you believe there's a difference between women and men?
Inclusion programs are coming under fire now.
The focus on race, first and foremost, has done us no favors.
But if your ideas don't pass the hurtful or harmful test, you should keep your ideas to yourself.
I'm carrying a weapon for a week, hoping to be approached by a black man so he can kill him.
How social media has led in its different stages to increased narcissism, increased emotional suffering.
The problem can never be stated in terms of black and white.
Predominantly white people coming through the business with a certain amount of kind of security in their lives.
DEI should be a lens in which you look at everything that you do.
Have you ever been judged for your appearance or what you look like?
Yes, I have.
I never thought it would become a political tool to really divide this country and really the world.
DEI has turned into a political target.
Time to do DEI efforts differently.
Now, the story doesn't just stop with industries, it's about who's impacted. So federal layoffs have disproportionately targeted women and people of color, Black and Indigenous people of color, who make up nearly half of the federal workforce. And I told y'all earlier, 40%. Black women in particular have been hit the hardest. There's an estimated 350,000 jobs that have left the labor force in 2025.
Black workers, the data is worse. For now, another month, the unemployment rate is going up. It's now 7.5%. That's the highest it's been since October of 2021. And it's a number we've been watching ever since it was 6.8% in June. It's 2 alarm emojis. You dig even deeper, and you'll find that Black women are disproportionately struggling right now. The jobless rate for Black women is at 6.7%.
These trends remind us that conversations about job cuts can't just be about the economy. They must also be about equity, representation, and who gets left behind when companies and government and higher educational institutions tighten their belts due to job cuts. Who's doing the work? Black entrepreneurship in America, when we talk about who's doing the work in entrepreneurship, there's a story that needs to be told there, because it's not a complete story without looking at both Black women, Black men, and Black non-gender binary and trans population. So between 2017 and 2020, the number of Black-owned businesses grew nearly 20%, outpacing growth rates for both women-owned and Black-owned businesses overall. From 2017 to 2022, the number of Black women-owned employer businesses skyrocketed by over 71%, and their revenues climbed by more than 80%. They were doing the work. We were doing the work. By early 2025, Black women owned about 3.5 million businesses, generating over $60 billion a year in the U.S. economy. Yet, despite this explosive growth, Black women still make up less than 1% of all businesses and only 4% of women-owned firms nationwide. Add that to the lower average of revenues of $24,000 compared to $54,000 for white women, and ongoing barriers to capital. And it's clear that their achievements are happening in spite of systemic inequities, not because playing field is fair. It is not. The playing field sucks for us. And on the other hand, and on the other side, Black men still own the majority of Black-owned businesses. It doesn't mean that y'all not struggling, and I'm not saying that. But overall, Black-owned businesses by men and women combined saw dramatic expansion, okay? Y'all remember during the pandemic, there was a surge in entrepreneurship. Black-owned businesses added more jobs than white-owned businesses to the economy between 2020 and 2021. But growth doesn't erase disparity, and let's talk a little bit about that. Black entrepreneurs, men and women alike, still own only 3% of all U.S. businesses, despite making up 14% of the population. There's a disproportionality there. Both groups face disproportionate barriers to accessing credit and capital, with higher denial rates and steeper interest costs than their white counterparts. Now, many are forced to run self-fund businesses because y'all know we can't get them checks. We account for less than 1%. Now, industry concentrations also tell us a story. Black women-owned businesses are more concentrated in lower margin industries like retail and health services, while Black men are more likely to be in transportation, professional services, and technical fields. But the outlook, though, shows resilience, even though I hate that fucking word sometimes. SBA loans to Black-owned businesses have more than doubled since 2020. Even in public opinion surveys that support Black-owned businesses is the direct path to racial equity. So y'all gotta get out there and support y'all people. I know the Target boycott is doing this thing, but where are y'all spending that money? In this podcast, as we continue to grow, I'll probably change my background, but I'm starting from the house. Y'all know how we get down. I want you to send us your businesses and social media handles, DM us on our Instagram account, the Inclusologist, and we'll feature them in calls to actions. For example, if the big player can cut DEI, if those big companies can cut us down, then we'll double down on building our own ecosystems of support. Now, a question I want to leave y'all with, and I want y'all to talk to me about in the comments is, with these government and tech leading layoffs, how do we hold leaders accountable for protecting the workers most at risk, especially disabled populations, caregivers, and Black and Indigenous people of color? What role should we play in that, y'all? How do we hold them accountable? Because my opinion is we got more work to do even while this administration is working on us. I'm going to be hitting y'all hard with the facts. Again, don't forget to check out my documentary that's dropping on October 3rd on Tubi and Fandango at Home, and you can pre-order it September 19th on Fandango at Home, okay? It is coming to a platform near you. And also don't forget to buy my book, people, because I have a book called DEIing, Navigating the Goddamn Mess They Made of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and you can buy it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. and we want to hear from you. So y'all drop y'all shit in those comments. Y'all let me know what's going down. I can't wait to hear from y'all. Don't forget to answer my question and sign up for my documentary. Okay, pre-order it. I'll see y'all soon.